Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and this time I've got a super quick and easy, clean and simple card to share with you guys. I had this big scrap, not necessarily scrap, but it was cut into this big piece of CAS XL watercolor paper, and I was only planning on using a piece of it. And then as I got going, I was like, you know, I should just make a card out of this piece. So I trimmed it down to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches with my paper trimmer, and then I scored it at 4.25. So it's going to be an A2 sized top folding card. So 4.25 by 5.5 inches. And because it's watercolor paper, I made sure to really press that crease down with my bone folder because it's pretty thick. It does create a sturdy card base. I don't do this very often just because I don't like wasting my watercolor paper. But I just thought for today it would work. And because I also wanted to use, I'm literally using just the little Popsicle stamp from the Simon Says Stamp Summertime Animals set that I showed in a haul a while ago. And I keep waiting to use this set because it kept selling out, and I think it might even be on reserve again because it's been so popular, but it's so cute. So I was going to use other images, but then I was like, ooh, I want to do a row of popsicles, and then that's how it kind of evolved into this card. So I used my T-square ruler and a pencil just to draw a light little pencil line across the card because I wanted to stamp this whole row of popsicles. I did originally think of stamping them separately and then die cutting them with the coordinating dies, which I have. But I just thought this would look nice to just do it all on one. And like I said, clean and simple, one layer, one piece of watercolor paper, you know. So I stamped them all, and I started with the center one and then stamped each of them, and that I just totally eyeballed. I just wanted that pencil line for reference so that they were, you know, stamped straight. But the rest of it I just totally eyeballed. If you really wanted to get into it, you could, you know, use more pencil lines to make sure you've stamped everything evenly. But I was able to get them all stamped. And then for my sentiment, I pulled out, this is the Handwritten Borders set, which came out forever ago. And I don't even think I've used it yet. So I inked it up, and I wasn't surprised that this happened. I inked it up and I used my little Fiskars stamp press to stamp it. And because it was such a long and a little more of a detailed stamp, it didn't stamp perfectly on this because I'm stamping onto like the more textured side of the watercolor paper. So to fix that, I just went over it with my Copic multi-liner. I've sped this up a fair bit, but I just lightly went over and filled in all those areas that didn't stamp very well, and to darken it so it kind of went more with the stamped popsicles because those stamped perfectly. So just went over it a couple times to get all those areas filled in so that it looks perfect. And then once I was done with that, I'm using my little tiny Tombow eraser that has like a really, really fine little end. So I use that and erase that pencil line there. So got that all done. And then to watercolor these in, I'm using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. And I started off being my usual OCD self. I was gonna like fill, you can tell, I'm just filling these in perfectly, going right in the line. And then I looked at it for a minute and it's like, you can do this. Like, go outside the lines, be a little messy. It's like, how would that look? So I did. I was like, let's make this a little messier. Plus, I'm like, it'll be faster to finish off if I don't keep it all super perfect. So that's what I did. I did speed this up, but literally the watercoloring of this took less than 5 minutes. It was super quick and easy because once you let yourself be free and go outside the lines, you don't have to waste a bunch of extra time filling in and keeping it perfect. So I just did several different colors. I will have them, I took a picture of them, so I'll have them listed on my blog. So I just put the color down and pulled it out with my little watercolor brush. Then I did the same thing with all of the sticks and again, kept it messy. And then of course I had to add a little bit of shimmer. So I got my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle marker and went over them quickly with that. And between each color, I was wiping the brush off onto some paper towel because this does reactivate the color and it picks it up. So the tip of the brush after each color is tinted that color. So I didn't want to muddy it with the next color. So I just kept wiping it off. And then I used just a little bit of Copic Opaque White. You could use some white acrylic paint, whatever floats your boat. But I love my Copic Opaque White because it's so pigmented and so white. I thinned it down a little bit with water just to make it easier to work with. And I just used an old paintbrush. And with a really light touch, I filled in each of those highlights there because on a couple of them, I did go over it with the Clean Color Real Brush marker color. And I really wanted the highlight to kind of pop. So I just lightly filled that in. And then once it was dry, I'm going to flip this over and of course finish the inside of the card. So I just inked up the popsicle one more time and stamped it in the center of the inside of the card, and then did the exact same thing. Quickly watercolored it with the yellow real brush marker, and then watercolored in the stick of the little popsicle, And then I just grabbed the sentiment, the Good Times sentiment from that same Summertime Animal stamp set and stamped that. And then finished off with a little bit more shimmer, just, you know, just tie everything together. And that finished off my card. Super quick and easy, just something fun and cute while summertime is still here. And you can see all the sparkle once I turn the flashlight on my phone. I love my little sparkle pens. They're just so much fun. So that was my card for today. And as always, I will have a link below the video to my blog post. I'll have links to all the supplies used. I'll have a picture in my blog with the colors I used, all that kind of stuff. So check that out below if you are interested. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, thumbs upping, and commenting on my videos. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.